Okay, so now I started the recording, and the floor is yours, Mrs. Monet.
Thank you. So I chose the topic of the games is body parts. Uh, I used some games like the I tell all students to stand up. Then I ask
Mhm.
them to touch their body parts only if I say the word please. For example, touch your
Okay.
nose, please. If I
Ah,
don't
okay.
say please and the student still does the action, then he's out and must sit down.
Okay.
Then I can replace the word please with words that sound similar. For example, cheese or bees.
Ah, okay.
And
Nice. I love that.
and I see if I can make them make a mistake.
Okay.
This is the
I
first game.
love that. I love it. It reminds me of Simon Says.
Yes.
So this is another way of playing Simon Says.
Hmm.
And I think at the same time, you're testing their listening skills because you vary cheese, bees, please.
Yes.
I love that. I like it. And how do they react to the game?
It was funny. They had fun.
Did you play with them?
No.
So maybe next time you can play with them. I mean, you can ask one of the students to do the same thing that you do, and you'll be one of them, one of the students. What do you think of it?
Yes,
Is it
it was
possible?
a good idea. Yes, it's possible. Yes.
You can even record yourself if you have a carte parentale to record, of course. You can do that, and it'll be kind of, I mean, you show it to the other colleagues, and it can be very inspiring. Well, thank you, Mrs. Monet. So that was the first game. Yeah?
Yes.
You have
Uh,
another one?
many other ones. I
Please,
told
because
I
you like
told
to
them
play, so.
yes. I told them to take a piece of paper and to draw a monster. So
A
I
monster?
placed yes I placed the flashcards on the board.
Uh-huh.
Then for each body part word I roll a
Ah,
dice
okay. Uh-huh,
uh,
uh-huh.
and write the number that appears on the dice next to each body part.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are you following me?
Yes, yes, I'm trying, yeah.
Then I tell students that they must draw a monster with the same number of body parts. For example, four eyes, six ears, two hands, one arm.
That's
So
going to be
they
really very
they're
funny.
they're practicing body parts and the plural at the same time,
Ah,
using
I
the plural.
see.
Yes.
I see. I see. Yeah, that's really very pertinent. I love
Hmm.
this idea too.
Thank
And
you.
at the same time, apart from the fact that you're revising the plural, etc., and the body parts, but you also you're developing their imagination
Yes.
and their drawing skills.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love this too.
Thank you.
I want to attend one of your sessions. I would like to see him,
Yes. Why not?
inshallah.
Well,
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mooney.
yes.
Have you got another game to share
Game.
with
Yes.
us?
I asked them to take a piece of paper. I started first, so I model draw a head with eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and hair.
Uh-huh.
Then I told them to draw a head using colors on a piece of paper.
Ah,
Hmm.
so
Next,
body
I
part
showed.
and colors.
Hmm. I didn't
Yes.
hear you.
I said that you're at the same time focusing on body parts and also on colors.
On colors, yes.
Good.
Next, I showed them how to fold the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So only the neck shows. The head
Yeah.
is folded behind, so
You cannot see the head. Yeah.
they cannot see the head. Then they have to pass their paper to different students.
Uh-huh.
That different student must draw the body starting from the neck and going down to ankles. For example, they draw a short or long body, fat or thin body.
Uh-huh.
Next, they have to fold the paper so
It
that
would be
the body
something.
doesn't appear.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
pass it to another student, and he has to draw feet
Yeah, I
and
got it. I got it.
then they show their drawings to their students and see how
It's gonna be something really
funny.
outlandish. Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of something that we do in writing. We call it roll story,
Ah, yes, yes.
and it's similar to folding. We take a piece of paper,
Mhm.
and then we, for example, ask a question, and the first, all of them actually, all the students, they write the first line, for example, to answer that question, and then they're going to fold the paper in such a way that when they're going to pass the paper over to someone else, to another student, they're not going to see what they wrote. And then we ask a second question. It's based on kind of a story. For example, where did you go today? What did you do after that, etc. And at the end, when the last student, they take the paper and they open it and they read it, becomes something hilarious. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love the way that you turn that into drawing, etc. I love that. You're
Thank you.
very creative, Mrs. Monet.
Thank you. I used a spinner too. So
How's that?
they have to spin a wheel. I draw the body parts on that wheel. So they have
Uh-huh.
to spin the wheel, then make a sentence using the word that appears. For example, I use the clip on the wheel.
Uh-huh.
So if the clip lands on the word head, for example, the student must say must give us a sentence using that word. For example, touch your head. He must ask his partner to touch his head, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, many ideas worth trying in class.
Yes,
I'll tell the teachers I'm working with about them.
thank
Or
you.
maybe I'll invite you to present these ideas. Because you know, Mrs. Monet, there is really a missing link between primary schools and preparatory schools,
Yes,
even though we are dealing with the same things, especially that, you know, that shift from sixth primary grade to seventh grade in preparatory school, the students, they find that very difficult. And I
yes,
think if we find the link between the primary schools and the preparatory schools, this is going to be easier for the students. And we can have primary school teachers working with their colleagues in preparatory school, preparatory schools. And actually, we are using very similar games because they use a lot of games. They have what we call the third hour.
mhm.
Uh, in the previous years, we called it the group session. We use those games. Thank you very much, Mrs. Monet.
You're
I
welcome.
really loved all of the ideas, and I took notes of them. And
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. I'd like to invite Mrs. Mariam and maybe Mrs. Henda if they have questions for you, any reactions, or
Yes,
you
if
can
you
share
have,
your idea.
you can
Yeah,
ask me.
you can ask her. She's inviting you. See, she's very friendly. If you find something interesting or you'd like to know more about one of the games that she mentioned, yes, please. Mrs. Mariam, I think your microphone is muted. Mrs. Handa, by the way, in you're teaching sciences, right?
Yes.
Do you use games? Do you use games with your students?
Secondary school, donc terminal.
So you don't play with them?
Yes.
They don't play at all. They just like to study in a formal way. Yeah.
Yes.
But what do you think of those games that Mrs. Monet mentioned?
Very interesting games.
You might think of, really, why not? Even if they are like back students, we can still find some, I mean, games which are appropriate to their level. I'll tell you, when I was a student, I was studying like scientific branch. I mean, it was not in sciences, but actually in math. The math teacher, she used to make kinds of games for us, and we appreciated that a lot. I don't know if this is possible in science classes or not, but I guess you can think about it. You'll be the pioneer. You'll be the first one to try something similar.
Sometimes we do some games, but not every time, of course.
Yeah, sure. Okay, what about Mrs. Mariam? Can you tell us about your experience?
Yes, for me, I use and I play these games with my students, especially the young ones. But because some years I taught in, sorry, I always get confused speaking. It depends on the level, in fact. When they are young, I can play such games with them. But sometimes, yes, I teach older students, so I prefer to use the interactive games, the online games, using the data show, using the computers.
Is there a specific tool that you find very useful that helped you to make the activities interactive?
Yeah, in fact, I use many games. I used the Kahoot in class. I used the website, the Bamboozle. You know it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played here once. I don't remember when, but we played it. We used this website.
Once upon a time, we played that here.
Yeah. So
we need to play more,
games, yes. Also, students like them. They like to play interactive games.
Sure.
Yeah. So for
they
me,
prefer games than doing other things like reading or.
Of course, yeah. When it comes to playing, everyone is
involved.
Even adults. I was having a session now with some teachers, an online session before our meeting, and we talked about word wall. I think you heard about it. You can create games with it, and we played games, and they liked it. You see, even adults, we like to play
games. Yeah,
we all love games. I was tempted to play with them too. So
we are still children from inside.
yeah. Okay. Any particular, for example, topic that you used games with, and the students were really very excited and motivated to play? Do you remember an experience?
It depends on the unit and the chapter we are dealing with. If for example, like Mrs. Monet said, if you are dealing with the body parts, we have related games. If you are dealing with I don't know, animals, movies, etc. It depends on the level and the age of the children. For me, for this session, I will I chose an activity or a game that is in continuity with last session's topic, movies and cinema. In fact, I created a game. It's like Mrs. Monet said, it's a wheel. We will spin the wheel, but I don't know how I can share it, or like how I can share my screen. Or if you want, I can send it to you and you share it. But
maybe I need.
Yeah,
I'll make you a presenter. Just a bit, please. Just a second. I'm trying to do that.
I can send it to you right now if you want, email or via messenger.
By email, if you wish, or by messenger. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I made you a presenter, so I think you can share your screen if you have it ready. I think it's possible to do that.
I will try.
Meanwhile, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Abir. Hello, Mrs. Abir.
Hello,
how are you? We're fine. Thank you very much for joining us.
In fact, my game needs many participants because I prepared many questions about last time's topic, and we need more participants to take turns to spin the wheel. Okay, I will.
We'll take turns answering the questions.
Is it this one? Le bac de partage? I don't know. I'm not so talented.
There's an icon, partager. And you need to click on inclure le son if there is sound that we need to hear.
Can you see something?
It's coming. Yeah, we can see it. Great.
You can see the wheel?
Yeah, we can. What about the others? Can you see the wheel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I can. Yeah, we can.
What about sound? What shall I do to include sound? In fact, there is no sound. There is just the sound of when we click on the wheel to turn it.
If it's not that necessary, it's okay. But you see at the beginning when you share your screen, there is a small button. If it is in French, it's inclure le son. But it's okay. You're not going to stop sharing and share again. We're going to waste time on that.
Okay.
So you're going to be the teacher.
I wanted that we practice the speaking skill because I always think that it is the most challenging one. So would you please take turns? I will turn the wheel, and one by one we will answer the questions. And you can feel free to answer it. You can explain. You can talk about whatever you like.
But please, not difficult questions, okay?
No. About last time's session, movies, cinema.
Great.
Who's going to be the first one?
We start with Mrs. Monet.
An easy one for you, Mrs. Monet. Come on.
Do you cry during movies? Sometimes, yes.
What a question.
There is too much drama. I cry. Yes.
It's a very silly one. Yes. Yeah, so you cry when you're watching a romance or a drama.
Drama, yes.
Yeah, most of us are sensitive, so we tend to cry. And we start remembering everything from our childhood till now. And who can stop us? What about the others? Maybe we can all answer this question. What about Mrs. Henda, Ms. Abir? Do you cry during movies?
Sometimes.
Is it when you watch a romantic film? Or?
I think when we remember something.
Yeah, when the film.
Yeah.
When the film reminds you of something that happened in your life. Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay, so
great.
next question. Next one. Okay. Who's going to answer?
So this website is called We'll Decide. It's the first time that I hear about it.
Yeah, we decide.
Thank
You
you
can
for the
create
tip.
wheels. You choose the topic, you choose your questions, and you create the wheel. So
Yeah, we'll give it a try. Thank you very much.
Okay, will you, Mrs. Lema, please answer this question?
Yeah, why not? So if you could make a movie, what would it be about? About our club? Because I love your perseverance, ladies. You're really exemplary. The fact that you come every week and the enthusiasm that you show, it's really very inspiring. So I make a movie about you, all of you, and I'll include this activity because you're turning me into students, and I love that. Okay, I answered the question, but I'd like also to bring in the other colleagues. What do you think?
Yeah,
If
I
you
will
could
change
make
the
a
question
movie?
because I have many questions and not many participants. I will change the question.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. You're the teacher. You decide. Sorry about interrupting.
So, who's here with us?
So Mrs. Abir and Mrs. Henda, Mrs. Monet.
Yeah, anyone. Which is more important, acting or special effects? For you, of course. Don't
It's acting for me.
For me, I think that the special effects are those who make the film
More engaging.
yeah.
If it's an action
More
film,
appealing.
maybe.
Both are complementary.
I personally think that special effects make the difference because you can say whether the acting is good or bad. But even if the acting is good and the special effects, sorry for the word, are they're not, I mean, professional.
Powerful.
Yeah, they're not powerful and professional. You feel it. You can see it. It becomes boring.
Yeah,
I think in our day, special effect is more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Because the actors can be the same, the director the same, but if it is not the same production or I don't know, with the different special effects, the film or the movie won't be the same. With same actors and same directing and same scenario, etc., but the result will be the same.
We're living in a visual age, as we say.
Yes.
I think that the most important thing is the story of the movie.
But special effects.
Yes, it can be so, Mrs. Monet. Yeah, but I agree with you. But as we all said, the fact that we don't have powerful special effects, the story becomes boring, especially for the teenagers, our children. It's a bit like teaching, you know. If you don't have those spices, it becomes something boring.
Yeah, in fact, this is what attracts us, and as teenagers or as adults, I mean, as a Tunisian in general, we are attracted, I think, in foreign or American movies more than Tunisian ones.
And even Turkish.
Of course,
you see, why Turkish? Why are Turkish sitcoms or what you call that, soap operas? Why are they so popular with the Tunisians? It's because of I mean, the visual effects and all that we see on the screen is more than the story itself.
Yeah, more than the story and the actors, of course.
Oh, actually, the actors they focus a lot
In fact,
on the
in
physical
Tunisia,
appearance of the actors.
here in Tunisia, here we have great actors, but we don't have, I think, we cannot produce a very popular or famous film or a TV series like the Turkish or American or Egyptian ones.
Sure.
Okay, shall I move to the next question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Answer this one. I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time. Yeah. So if someone made a movie of your life, what kind of movie would it be? Comedy for me. It would be comedian.
This is a philosophical question. It needs a lot of thinking, you know.
Drama drama movie.
Mrs. Abir, it's going to be drama?
I think.
Why so? I think you're still very young. Why should it be so?
I saw very many history in my life. So I think this is the type of my film.
So it's related to the experiences that you went through, right?
Yes.
There is a song which I love. It's an old song, but I love it a lot. It's called "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger." You know that by Kelly Clarkson. Yeah. My voice is so bad. Otherwise, I would have sung it for you, but I don't want to frighten you. But it's very telling, the fact that anything that happens to us makes us stronger.
Yeah, sure.
What about you, Mrs. Monet? What is it going to be?
Yes, experiences.
Thriller, maybe.
Especially that you love adventure.
Comedy.
A comedy, yeah. It might be so. Because I see that you love games, you love playing. So yeah, comedy is closer than thriller. And what about you, Mrs. Mariam? You're asking us the questions and you're not participating.
So, a romance, maybe, romantic film.
Okay, nice. So there's variety here, you see? Drama and comedy and thriller and romance. Yeah, that's why I said I need to make a film about our club. I need to.
Yeah, there is one question about the genres of films. I don't know. Okay, let's change. So, this one. Does watching movies in English helps you learn English? Would you recommend this method to language students? Can I answer this question?
Yeah, please. Who can answer it?
Yes.
Who watches it?
Okay. From my point of view, I always encourage my students or people who want to learn English language, to either listen to English music or watch English movies. This will help them to improve their pronunciation. Listening is very important for me in learning a language.
And watching Cartoon Star also.
Sorry?
Watching Cartoon Star.
Yeah, you can watch anything, a film, a cartoon, a TV show, TV series in English language, either British or American. It will help you improve your pronunciation when you listen to native speakers. This is from my I don't know. What about you, Mrs. Lama?
Yeah, same thing. And I even remember having students talking like Americans. You feel they are coming out of a movie, even though they didn't travel anywhere. And when I asked them, how did you do that? Even though they are not very good in other subjects, I mean, they are not even good when it comes at writing, but the way that they speak and the vocabulary that they know is, I mean, phenomenal. And they just tell me that we love listening to music, we learn the lyrics. My daughter learned Korean. You know, she learned the Korean by listening to bands, those bands, you know, the South Korean bands, like, I don't know their names, there are so many. But she learned to speak a bit of Korean just by listening to them, and she even became interested in watching Korean programs. It's really, I mean, very helpful. But what I don't really like is the fact that, for instance, when you watch MBC3 or MBC2, sorry, yeah, the subtitles written in Arabic. So instead of focusing on what the actors are saying, you just read what's written.
Just read the subtitles.
That's not going to be very helpful. So we need to hide them. Yeah, so I do encourage
even the game.
I think there is an option in the remote that you can remove the subtitle.
Yeah, okay. You need to show me how to do that.
Yeah,
I'm learning many things.
Yeah, my husband did that once. I don't remember how, but me too.
So you ask him, please. Then you report to me. That would be really very kind of you.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I think Mr. Monet, you were saying something.
Yes, the students are learning English from the video games also.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because when they play games, they chat with other players from other parts of the world. It can be risky, by the way, but that's what they are doing. And they learn how to speak English and even to write English.
For example, the colors, they are learning the colors from the video games.
And then they're going to say, see, madam, we are learning English from the video game. So how come you say that video games are not good? You're not going to be able to convince them later on that these can be bad for them. All right, Mrs. Mariam.
Yeah, for me, I learned Turkish from the from the series. I learned some everyday vocabulary. Yeah, when you
so you will not face any difficulties when you travel to Turkey.
Yeah, I'm planning to in a few months, inshallah.
But if you travel, please take us with you. Let's go together.
Welcome.
So we'll have a guide, somebody who talks Turkish. We won't be lost.
I went there for my honeymoon. Then I'm willing to go back in June, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Okay, so if I took much time, is it enough for this game, or should I continue?
I don't know. What do you think, the other ladies?
Yes, someone else has something to present.
We got to ask Mrs. Abir if she got an activity to share with us. Mrs. Abir, if you can please unmute your microphone and tell us whether you've got a sample of an activity that you'd like to tell us about. I remember you said that you teach at a primary school. You teach English here. I think she's having technical issues. I can show you something similar to the wheel that you showed us right now, using another.
Okay, I will stop sharing.
Yeah, please stop sharing. I'm going to show you the. See it? Can you just please bear with me? I'm going to share my screen, but first I need to open a new tab. I was showing that to Mrs. Widid, Mrs. Henda. Mrs. Widid was with us, and she can tell you about this too. It's taken some time because I need to open the website first and then share my screen. Can you have access to the chat box or not? Or is it deactivated? So I'm going to share my screen. How to do that? I click here. And then browse. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
I don't know what the problem is. So I stop sharing and I share again. Okay, now?
Not yet.
No. Entire screen. I think it's coming.
Yes.
Okay, can you see something?
Okay.
Yes.
Word wall.
Yeah, this is word wall that I was telling you about. It's called the random wheel here. Actually, there is sound, but I have a problem when I share my screen from the browser, so you're not going to hear anything. However, at home, if you try to discover this tool, you are going to love it, especially for primary school students. They like these kinds of games. So can you see here? This is how we spin. It's similar to what Mrs. Mariam was showing us. Oh, it's under the... Okay, I invite you please to answer these riddles. Who can find the answer to this riddle? What are the two things that you can never eat for breakfast?
Okay, I can answer this question if you want.
Yeah?
So for breakfast, I never eat eggs and I never eat oil. Olive oil.
That's for you, but for other people, they can have these things.
Yeah, for me.
That's why these are riddles. Devinette.
Yeah, it's a riddle.
Riddles, yeah, devinette.
I can answer the question.
Yeah?
Can I answer?
Yes,
Dinner
please.
and what do we call?
Lunch?
And lunch.
And lunch.
Yes, great. I'm going to eliminate this. You found out the answer to this riddle. Let's see the next riddle. It's going to be the quickest. What grows when it eats, but dies when it drinks? What grows when it eats, but dies when it drinks? No idea?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's eliminate this.
There is kangaroo. When he drink water, he can die.
Really?
He will die. Yes.
Oh,
He eats
God.
only. Yes.
You mean kangaroos never drink?
Water.
They never drink water?
Yes.
This is something new. Thank you very much for sharing this with us, but that's not the correct answer, actually. But still, thank you very much, Mrs. Henda. We're learning. Next time, you'll prepare the riddles for us. Look at this question, or riddle here. Kate's mother has 3 children, Amy, Bob, and
Kate.
easy. And Kate. So I'm going to eliminate this. You found it. Let's spin again. So how many months of the year have 28 days?
1. 1 month.
You all agree?
1 month. 1 month.
Excuse me?
February.
February, only one. Sure?
All months.
All of them, yes.
Yeah, it was a trap, you know.
Yes.
And piège. All of them, they have 28 days. I tricked you. Sorry for that. Can someone read for us, please?
What spends all the time on the floor but never gets dirty?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
For carpets, but they get dirty.
So that's nothing. Actually, you know, these types of games that you create with WordWall, you can share later on, you share the link with your students, and you can set a timer, which means that for each question, they have, for instance, 30 seconds to find out the answer. If they don't find out the answer, it's going to be like in video games or like in the games on TV. There's a buzzer or something like that. It's really like a game, so it's going to be really very challenging but fun. They're going to like that, and if they there is what we call the leaderboard, they can see their rank. They'd like to be the first so they can play again. They're going to learn and at the same time play. That's why I love these kinds of websites. But I think that you didn't find the answer here. I think I'm going to change my mind. No films about the cloud, because you are not very good at riddles. I'm going to eliminate this.
But what was the answer?
I'm not going to tell you because later on I'm going to show you something similar using the same questions. So what is able to travel around the globe but stays in a corner the whole time? It travels around the earth everywhere. It can go everywhere, but it stays in a corner the whole time.
Is it the sun?
No.
Time?
It's not the sun, no. No idea?
No idea.
Mrs. Abir, Mrs. Hinda, Mrs. Monet?
No idea.
No.
No idea.
No point. No idea, no point. The next question. I hope you're going to find it. Which word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly? It is a word that we find in the dictionary, but it is spelled incorrectly. It is spelled incorrectly. These are very hard questions.
They are tricky. They are not innocent.
Excuse me?
They are tricky, the riddles.
All
They make you think of something, but it's something totally different.
they're kind of traps, you know. The riddles, they are made on the basis of the concept behind the riddles is that they try to trap you, like a piège. It's really a trap here. Okay, just keep that in mind. We are going to see the answer later on.
Is it spelled?
We are going to see. Someone to read for us, please.
What has hands and a face but can't hold anything or smile?
You know, in Tunisian dialect, we say خليقة ولا صنيعة. Is it a product or is it a human being or an animal? What do you think it is?
It's an object.
It's an object. And you teach about it. You teach about it in your classes. Okay, I'm going to eliminate this. No. I hope that you're not going to hate me because of this game.
No.
Of course not.
What kind of room has no doors or windows? Look, I'm going to make it easier. So I'm going to change. If you can follow with me, please, on the right side, you can see switch sound plate. These are the types of activities that we can choose from. It's the same activity, but I'm going to change the type. It's going to be easier now. Okay. We're going to take turns, and you're going to choose a number and answer the question. We start with Mrs. Monet. Which number would you like to choose? 5?
Yes. But is able to travel around the globe but stays in the corner the whole time.
Mm-hmm. What do you think that is? A plane, a stamp, or a steward?
Stamp.
Yeah. And did you notice the timer? The quicker you are, the more points you're going to get. Okay, Mrs. Henda.
4. Which word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly?
None.
Incorrectly? No.
Read. Non misspelled or incorrectly?
Incorrectly.
Incorrectly? No.
Yeah, that's it. Is spelled incorrectly. The word incorrectly is spelled incorrectly. Yeah, that's how we spell it. See, I told you it's a trap. Okay, Mrs. Mariam.
Yeah, number 6.
Number 6.
Your shadow.
Correct.
Spends
Great.
all the time on the floor, but never gets dirty. It's your shadow.
Never. Fortunately for us. Mrs. Abir?
Number 10. What are the 2 things that you can never eat for breakfast? Eggs and yogurt, lunch and dinner, or lunch and dinner.
Yeah, great. Excellent. So now you're finding it easier. So again, from the beginning, Mrs. Monet.
Number 7.
We answered this.
12.
Good. And then Mrs. Henda?
8. What has hands and face but can't hold anything for 9?
A computer, clock, or cupboard? What do you think?
Clock.
Yes.
We talk about the hands of the clock. عقارب الساعة. The hands of the clock. And it has a face, but it cannot smile. Mrs. Mariam?
Yes, number 2.
It's not a kangaroo.
It grows when it eats, dies when it drinks. Fire.
You see?
Yes.
Good. Mrs. Abir?
Number 3. If you don't keep me, I will break. What am I?
The light, the sound, or a promise?
Promise.
A promise. Yeah, a promise. If we don't keep our promise, we break it. Mrs. Monet?
Number 1. But I can't see the question.
What kind of room has no doors or windows? A tree house, B, an attic room, or C, a mushroom?
Mushroom.
Mushroom.
Mushroom. Champignon. Mushroom.
Oui.
And finally, number 9. Mrs. Mariam.
Kate's mother has 3 children, Amy, Bob, and Kate.
Okay, we finished. By the way, there is sound here, and it's like really like on TV, like a game. You see, we have 10 out of 10, but we spent 5 minutes to finish the activity. You can see the leaderboard. We are the only ones who played, so see, we are going to write our name. That's what you are going to do with your students. You give them the link and they can play on their own, or you share on your computer or on the screen of a projector, and you play together. And at the end, they're going to see the online club, I wanted to say. If we were many to play this, we are going to have first, second, third, fourth. So we are the winners. Great.
Oh,
Would
yes.
you like to play another game before we
Yes.
finish?
Yes, why not?
You see, we all like to play games. Unfortunately, you don't have access to the chat box, or I would have shared that there. So British versus American English. We have words used in British English. What is their or what are their corresponding terms in American English? Like for biscuit, sweet,
Yes.
lift, flat, motorway, aubergine, and pushchair. These are British words. Can we match them with their equivalent in American English?
Biscuit cookie.
Can I start?
Yeah, somebody started, Mrs. Henda. Yeah, biscuit is a cookie. Someone else, Mrs. Monet?
Sweet candy.
Sweet is a candy. Good. What about lift?
Flat apartment.
Flat apartment. Okay.
Lift elevator.
Lift. Elevator.
Motorway, highway.
Good.
Stroller, pushchair.
Pushchair. Good. An aubergine
Eggplant.
is eggplant in English. Let's submit the answer.
Yes.
Good. Can even change that or into a crossword. So it was drag and drop now. It becomes a crossword. It's the same activity. Look, if I click on number 6 down, they ask me what's the equivalent of eggplant. I need to write this using the keyboard.
It means that
Aubergine.
the same start with different games. Yeah, yes.
It's the same activity, but in a different way.
Different ways.
And you can change it on the spot. You have the types of activities on the right side. It's very interesting, really, as a website. The only inconvenience is that you have 5 resources for the free plan. They just give you the possibility to create 5 resources or 5 activities. After those 5 activities, you need to upgrade. Or you can delete the activity. If you finish doing it with your students, you can delete it, and as such, you will have each time the possibility to create a new one. So I invite you all to try it. Even Mrs. Henda, you can do this to give your students quizzes, ask them questions about concepts that you taught them in class.
Of course.
They can even have that as homework. So you send them the link and they play on their own. And at the end, you're going to see, if you click on my results, you're going to see the results. Like today with the other colleagues of English, we played this game and 9 teachers participated. We have the average score, the top score, the fastest, with the names of the students. And they even give you statistics here about each question, the number of correct answers and incorrect answers. So even at home, you can track whether the students did the activity or not, what were their mistakes, and you can use that to, create a consolidation or remedial work, etc. Okay, so that was all. Enough playing. Okay, it was really a very interesting session, even though we didn't study anything, but we shared a lot of useful ideas, I think. And I hope that you found it entertaining. What do you think?
Yes.
You give me your ideas about that.
It was fun.
What's your feedback? Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yes,
We'll ask the newcomer, Mrs. Henda. How did you find the session?
Very interesting.
Yeah, great. I'm glad that you liked it, and I'm really glad that Mrs. Mariam and Mrs. Monet shared their ideas concerning the activities with us. And hopefully, Mrs. Henda, in the coming sessions, you can also share types of activities that you do with your students too. Okay, so I guess we can call it a day.
If there is something we should prepare for next.
Please, can you give me the address of this site, please?
It's called wordwall.net.
Can you write it in the conversation?
Because I think that you don't have access to the chat box.
Oh.
But I can post it in the Facebook group. I'll post the link there.
Okay.
Or I can even send it by messenger if you wish. Okay, so ladies, thank you very much. Thank you for attending the session. Thank you for taking part in it actively. Inshallah, we'll meet next week. Do you have, something special that you'd like us to focus on for next week? A topic that you'd like me to deal with? Any suggestions?
We will send
More games?
More games and more communication.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you like the way that we dealt with the session today. Okay, more communication. I'll take that
I
into
think
consideration.
that we have to focus, as she said, on the speaking skill.
Yeah, sure. Okay, inshallah.
Practice.
Okay, so again, thank you very much. See you next week.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
the
much.
rest of your evening. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Good
Good evening. Goodbye.
Good evening.